With the presidential primaries of the various political parties gradually coming to an end, the outlook of the 2023 election is becoming clearer as flag bearers of political parties emerge. With this three-part series, Nana Mohammed profiles the presidential candidates of political parties who would slug it out for the country's top job.
According to INEC timetable, the presidential poll will be held on 25th February 2023. As a prelude to participation in the poll, parties must elect flag bearers to fly the flag of the parties. Presently, major political parties like the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC), People's Democratic Party (PDP), and the Labour Party (LP) have all concluded their primaries. From these parties, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged from the PDP. Former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu was victorious in the APC, while Peter Obi, former Anambra Governor, is flying the flag of the Labour Party. Atiku Abubakar, a former Nigerian Vice President and the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), is from Adamawa, northeast Nigeria. He was born on 25th November 1946. Atiku Abubakar has unsuccessfully contested 5 times for the office of the President of Nigeria in 1993, 2007, 2011, 2015, and 2019. Many pundits say this may be his last shot at the presidency due to his age. Peter Obi is the candidate of the Labour Party for the 2023 Nigerian election. He was born on 19 July 1961 from Anambra's southeastern Nigeria. He was a 2-term governor of the state. Peter Obi ran as the vice presidential candidate in the 2019 Nigerian election under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Bola Tinubu is the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, the ruling APC. He was born 29 March 1952 from southwest Nigeria. He is currently the national leader of the All Progressives Congress since the party's formation in 2013. He previously served as the governor of Lagos State from 1999 to 2007 and senator for Lagos West during the brief Third Republic. These are the choices that the APC, PDP, and Labour Party have given Nigerians to choose from come 2023. Nana Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Well, definitely at this point, politics is on the front burner as far as Nigeria is concerned. And of course, that serves as the topic of what we're going to be looking at today. The crisis rocking the All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA deepens as the 2023 general election draws nearer. Now, 2 different candidates are laying claims to the party's presidential ticket. While the founding national chairman of APGA, Chief Chekwas Okorie, emerged as the flag bearer at the special convention held in Abuja under the leadership of Chief Edozie Njoku, another presidential primary held far away in Anambra State under the leadership of Dr. Victor Oye produced a former chief judge of Anambra State, Professor Peter Omiedi, as the presidential candidate. Now, right here in the studio, we have the national chairman of APGA, Chief Edozie Njoku, although the position is being contested by Dr. Victor Oye-led faction. Well, we have Chief Edozie right here with us in the studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. So give us a background of the crisis, or should I say the current state that APGA finds itself right now with 2 parallel national chairmen.
Well, good morning again. We shouldn't be here because there's an umpire called INEC. Since 2019, I won as the chairman of the party. Oye now took me to court in the High Court, Jabi, FCT High Court. When he made his claims, APGA made their counterclaim. I made my counterclaim, and APGA made a counterclaim that he wasn't their chairman. And he pulled out of the case. He had injunctions on me and APGA. The judge warned him that if he withdrew from that case, then APGA will start recognizing me. But because he knew there was a judgment coming which was going to go against him, or he suspected the judgment was going to go against him, he pulled out of the case. With that in hand and those injunctions off us, we asked INEC to recognize us, which they didn't. And then we now went to the Federal High Court to get an order of court impelling INEC. That case, with all the maneuvers they did, they went for the best lawyers. Oladipo was one of their lawyers, Onyeka Ikpeazu, all of them. And they were able to move that case out of the Federal High Court down to the Court of Appeal because they said the judge did not do something. But the Court of Appeal sent it back and asked the judge to give a judgment. The judge now gave a judgment saying that our convention was a rightful convention. That notwithstanding, during the Anambra elections, I was purportedly removed as national. They said they suspended me. A group said he was a deputy of the party, and they suspended me. Went to a court through a court in Jigawa. The court case went to the Court of Appeal. From the Court of Appeal, went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court now finally gave that judgment in my favor, saying it was a forum shopping, and that the case ought not to have been. Even mentioned in it that my removal is not justiciable. You can't go to the court of law in Nigeria to remove me. And that my name was mentioned in the judgment. But then there was an error that was in the case about 7 months ago where the Supreme Court in error put Oye's name, but he was never part of the case, which they corrected. And on correction of that case, we took that and the Federal High Court judgment to ruling to INEC. Up till today, they've just been meandering around it. They should come out, because Oye does not have one single piece of paper that makes him the national chairman of the party. But we had a governor called Obiano who boasts that I wasn't there, but he keeps boasting that he spent over $4.5 billion holding Oye up there. I don't know. He says that, and I don't know how he did that. But I can feel the pressure of such money still on me somehow, because I don't see why it has not been addressed up till today.
So for the purpose of clarity for teaming APGA watchers and indeed followers of this station, which faction produced the governor of Anambra State?
It was produced by what do you call it, by Oye's faction.
So is it safe to then suggest that what you have in Anambra is not legitimate?
I wouldn't say that. You see, you'll have to speak with me to know whether it was legitimate or not. It's the party that produces the candidate. You would not. I mean, that's going into another realm. The realm on the ground now is, why has INEC not done the needful? Maybe they're also worried that if they do the right thing, it might tamper with the governor of Anambra State. But this is the 4th time I contested for national chairman. I don't think that what will be on my plate is to start causing a crisis in the party as soon as I take over. Because I've contested 4 times, and the system in APGA, I've always tried to not make it possible for me to really take over my position as national chairman. So you could equally well say that those are part of the things that have made a lot of people to shy away from doing the right thing. And the right thing is justice. If I am the national chairman, if the Supreme Court has pronounced me as the national chairman of the party, my seat should be given to me. I don't see any reason why.
Is there any particular reason that was forwarded to you by INEC?
None.
For not...
None. We've written to them 3 times or 4 since the judgment, since in the last 2 months. And we don't want to go. It's quite easy for us to go to court and get an order impelling now with the Supreme Court judge, but we don't want to go down that route. You understand? That's opening up more litigation. INEC should sit down. They have a commission meeting today. They should sit down and look at it and make a decision, whichever way.
Interesting how this crisis seems to have lingered, because from my understanding, our understanding from the studio, and as members of the 4th estate of the realm, judgment is not a buffet where you choose what you choose to respect and what you don't. If INEC is not doing that, and you have a governor who is quite knowledgeable and I'm sure would have gotten legal counsel, is the governor or members of the cabinet reaching out to you in any way to suggest that they understand the implication of that judgment?
They do understand. Everyone understands the implications. It's a Supreme Court judgment. There's no other place you can go. The judgment of the Supreme Court is final. So the important thing to do is for he now got up and said, Oye, INEC, from the back channels, that Oye said it was a fake judgment. What, have you ever heard of a fake judgment from Supreme Court? No. He made some claims, and they said he has reported to the AFCC and he has reported to the police. Why am I not being arrested? If they said I went and faked a judgment, I wouldn't do that. You understand? So that's not a reason for INEC. INEC can go to the Supreme Court and apply for a certified true copy, which I'm sure they've done. And when they get the certified true copy of the judgment, they should act on it instantly, because it is a Supreme Court judgment. If it was a Court of Appeal or a Federal High Court judgment, you could say, okay, they're waiting for us, there might be an appeal. But it's not, it's a Supreme Court judgment.
Just a quick follow-up on that. Given the development and the fact that the deadline for submitting elected primary candidates are drawing close, why is that your confirmation is still pending? What becomes the fate of your presidential candidate?
That's a very good question. I mean, we have about 8 months to elections. Just as you asked me about Soludo's election, he's already finished his election.
That's right.
You understand? If we've done all our primaries and we've written INEC, we've given them 21 days notice. When you've given 21 days notice, it's not, the UMS is not on us, is on them to come. They've gotten that after every process. We've written to them, our lawyers have written to them to tell them we've done our congresses, we've done our primaries, our lists are waiting. And inside INEC, they're saying, okay, wait, whenever you get recognition, we'll give you the codes to upload your candidates.
But they were supposed to have sent INEC officials to the venue of the primaries as suggested by
but what I'll say, if we were having a primary here now, we've written to INEC, and along the line, INEC car broke down or their flight was cancelled and they couldn't come, it doesn't mean we'll cancel the primary. The UMS was on them to come and supervise it. That's what the law says. So as long as they have decided that they are not supervising or that they are not going to come for those congresses or those because they are not recognizing us here, the law should not be against me. I've done the needful. I've done my primaries. If at the end of the day they find they made a mistake by recognizing the wrong person, I mean, it's academical.
No, all right. So let's. I want to move slightly away from this particular crisis, and I want to talk about APGA generally. At one particular point, APGA threatened to be a third force, kind of, because it was gaining in popularity. Because a lot of people actually started looking at it as a regional kind of party, but even in other regions, it was actually quite popular at one point, and. And with that trajectory that it was following, at this point, many believe that APGA should be bigger than what it is now. It should be playing a bigger role than what it is playing now. What actually went wrong?
I mean, it's said that when you make the house help or the houseboy the head of the house cannot hold. This was a party. I was the first vice national chairman of the party. And it was a party that we took time. Many of us who came back from abroad came back and looked at politics from a different perspective and saying that politics is not being done the way we felt. Not that we are right, but there's got to be some decorum in politics. So the system rebelled a bit and removed Chekwa Sokoria and concentrated everything in Anambra State. I heard you say they did their presidential primaries in Anambra State. The congresses they did, when they said the Oye one was in a government house in Oka. So everything has been concentrated on a government house, and the state and the national chairman, in quotes, operates as the state chairman of Anambra State. And they use those resources to keep hold of power. Many of us have said, no, APGA is a national party. The Southeasterners have a very strong sentiments towards APGA. The process of what Tinubu has done in ACN, AD, ACN was started before us. They were in AD before ACN started, and we started. APGA was a registered party at that moment, and we were really doing well. But the system, that's why I commend Tinubu. I really commend him. When I saw him win his primaries yesterday, I don't know him, but I felt that he has done a lot of work. He's done a lot of work. In politics, it's not, you don't reward power with work, but he's done a lot of work, so he should enjoy his day. We started the same thing a few years ago, and we've gotten derailed by a few people who just feel that they want to use it to perpetuate power and money in their locality. It's very unfair.
Permit me to play the devil's advocate at this point. There is the popularly held belief from every religion from the south is that the Igbo nation, which I'm sure was in the thinking of the founders of APGA, have not been able to found for themselves a rallying point, a leader, sort of. And we saw a manifestation of that even at the inauguration of the current governor, where the wife of a respected founder of APGA came in direct fisticuffs with the wife of the immediate past governor, who I understand has also picked an APGA ticket for the Senate. Is it true that it is difficult for the Igbos to find a rallying point, given the stories that you have also told us this morning?
Well, there are three. You've said three things in the summation you just made. First and foremost, it's impossible to have leadership without followership. Once you cut off the followership, there is no leadership. By virtue of what's happened in APGA, and as I said earlier on, the Southeasterners, the Igbos, have a very strong passion, that is the followership, for APGA. And the very minute you thwart that leadership or you don't give them the power of leadership, you have distorted the balance. The balance is no longer there. Those people who claim leadership within APGA are not meant to be their leaders. I was a founding member of APGA, and when you look at the crisis in the Southeast and in Nigeria, like iPod and all that, Nnamdi Kanu was UK chairman of APGA before this crisis started. There was a voice to speak. But as soon as that voice goes, you kind of ask yourself, what other voice do we have? INEC needs to intervene because they are playing with democracy. It's so easy to have a race of people and throw them to the corner, but you don't ask yourself, what has really triggered all this problem? It is part of muffling people's voices. When you muffle a man's voice, he kind of explodes from different avenues. Oye is not and cannot be, and could never have been the national chairman of APGA. He was never in APGA. But we allowed him, when Obiano brought him, he was never a member of APGA. I sent him a text message after the convention, which I ran in 2015. It just appeared. And they said to me, no, that Obiano had a second term, that they wanted someone who would not rock the boat. I most likely could rock the boat, because if he was not doing what he had to do, then he should not expect to get his nomination. And that should be the case. So I understood it, because I'm equally well a politician. So I sent a message of congratulations to him. I said, congratulations, and if there's any way you need my help, please. He never replied the text message till today. You understand? That's the sort of leadership that we don't need in this country. We need to have an open leadership. So when you come to that point that the Igbos, no, it's not quite like that.
Okay.
If you look down on Zik in 1979, every single person literally who contested elections, MPP, won their seats. They followed because there was leadership. And it goes back down the line. You understand? Yeah. And I really wish that Nigeria, because you are, by virtue of the hat here, where let's assume you're from Taraba. I know you're not. And let's assume he's from Akwa Ibom. You are the one who will speak for the Taraba people. You are the one who will speak for the Akwa Ibom. I'm the one who will speak for the Igbos, because I don't expect you to come and start speaking on my behalf. Right. You understand? So Nigeria must allow people to express themselves from wherever they are. You know where he pains your people. He knows where he pains his people. And sorry, going back, and you can now see that there's so much crisis around Nigeria, and everybody's screaming, particularly APGA is screaming for restructuring. We're screaming, and Chekwa Sekure, as you can hear, he's leading the forefront of complete restructuring.
Before we round up this segment and allow you to go, one more question from me. and that would dwell on the future of APGA. We have dwelt largely on what has happened in the past and where we are. Are you willing to offer some kind of olive branch? Have you tried doing that to the other faction to say, we could forget about what had happened, let us come together and build something going forward?
Before the Supreme Court judgment, I had put forward that Oye should stand aside, myself should stand aside. Let us have some sort of a meeting and both parties stand aside. No one heeded to that. Now there's a Supreme Court judgment that has come out that has ended the crisis. You understand? And with or without INEC actually agreeing with us, we'll be moving around. We are in Delta State over the weekend to talk to people and let people understand as well that the party might be having a crisis due to the indecision of INEC, but the crisis is over.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. That's the much that time would allow us to take. We have been speaking with Chief Edozie Njoku, who is the APGA party chairman, as confirmed by the Supreme Court. He has given us his perspective on what has happened and the crisis that has rocked the party. Gladly, you have informed us, or rather informed us of the INEC meeting going on today. Should we get any latest updates from this development, I'm sure Trust TV would bring this development to your living rooms. And again, when we come calling on you to provide perspective, I'm sure you'll be there. You would make it to the studio to provide those perspectives. Once again, thank you very much for finding time.
Thank you.
We would take a short break, and when we return, the program continue. Please stay with us.